welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
And my name's Steve Greene. You are listening to
the podcast.
The most popular podcast in America.
Anyway, it's just us again. Hi, hope you like that. Hope you don't mind. We're doing another Q&A because it has been a while since we've done a Q&A from you, our gorgeous, beautiful, voluptuous listeners out there.
People love Q&As.
Do they?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of requests for them.
That's true.
So I guess
they must
do.
love it, unless they hate them and they still request them because they hate to like things.
Does anyone really listen to our show for the guests though? I wonder.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean,
but are they like, I'm here. I'm just here for the guests, and I'll see you later. You know what I mean?
Well, they could. I don't know. I honestly don't know how people's brains work because if I did, I probably would have had more friends growing up.
That's true. I probably am the authority on this subject with all my friends I had.
Yeah, you had so many friends.
So I'll answer the question. I think that they're here for the vibe. I think that they enjoy the vibe.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have high self-esteem because
I
probably
have very high self-esteem.
You already think that people must be there to like you.
I think that everyone likes me and nobody doesn't like me. And I think that the comments will reflect that, especially on this one.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, let's get to some of these questions. And by the way, if you did not know that you could submit a question, you are missing out on a big part of life right now. You can submit any question you would like to us. Usually we prefer advice questions, life advice, things that you wish that people would have told you, shit that they didn't tell you, that maybe they still didn't tell you and you would like someone to tell you. You could submit those questions to podcast@nikki.limo. That's podcast@nikki.limo. And I will see them and possibly answer them.
Maybe you submitted a question to us before and now you want a follow-up. A lot of people like those follow-ups.
It's been a couple months.
So we're willing.
Yeah, we are willing and able. And it could be on any subject. It could be relationship. It could be finance. It could be life. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
It's just shit that they didn't tell you. Our first question is going to be a relationship advice question. Those seem to be the most asked questions. So let's just start there. This one comes from Logan, and he asks, "Hey, Nikki and Steve, I love your guys' podcast. Helps me through a lot. Oh, thank you for. Oh, they do like us.
Is he here for the vibe though?
I don't know. It doesn't
say. Does it say that? Okay.
It doesn't say. It just says he loves it.
Maybe he will.
Okay. I would love to hear your advice on this. My name is Austin. I'm a 17-year-old professional wrestler in Colorado. I just got out of a horrible relationship with a 26-year-old model who was a wrestler as well. Wow, that's a huge age gap.
Okay, pal.
I found out she was cheating on me just 2 weeks after my mom passed away. So she seems to have no guilt for how bad she hurt me. And to make matters worse, she was my first relationship. I feel very guilty for spending most of my time with her instead of my mother for her last few months. And I hate myself for it. Also, since we're both professional wrestlers in the same area, I will still have to see her quite a lot. And it tears me apart every time. Do you have any advice for this? Thank you, guys.
I don't mean to laugh, man, but it's such a funny thing. Like,
it's a funny setup and then a really serious, sad plot twist.
A really sad turn, and then it gets funny again.
When does it get funny again?
Well, no, because he's like, I'll see her on the circuit because we're pro wrestlers and shit.
How do you become a professional wrestler at 17? Wow, that's like...
Well, yeah, so there's like those backyard things, right? Or not backyard things. I'm sorry. I don't mean to degrade what you're doing and call it backyard or amateur. What I mean to say is that they have those little leagues. The little leagues.
Everything that comes out of your mouth sounds condescending.
Guy who works at the company that we filmed this at, he likes to go to these underground pro wrestling things.
Okay.
And that's what this is, I think.
So it's like underground pro?
Yeah, it's like all the people who like, it's almost like how stand-up is, and you go to the Improv and you go to the Comedy Store and you go to all these different places.
Yeah, yeah.
And then hopefully one day you get to go to Madison Square Garden, which is the WWE and shit.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Once you build your audience and your thing.
Good for you for being a professional wrestler. But okay, and his 26-year-old ex-girlfriend is a model who is also a wrestler.
They're attractive people. You got to be.
Well, that's kind of hot. Like you're pinning each other down and stuff. I heard that.
I like the one I pin you down, but you pinning me down, I don't like.
Well, but if I was a 26-year-old freaking hot wrestler chick, then you better watch your back.
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
If you had like a bunch of muscles and shit, I wouldn't like that.
Okay, so cheating is never fun for anybody.
Oh, what was the question?
Oh my God. She cheated on him 2 weeks after his mom passed away.
Was it with a fellow wrestler?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, probably, right? Because they're all in the circuit.
But okay, here's the thing. So You get the premise, right? She
Yes.
cheated on him 2 weeks after his mom passed away, and now he feels guilty because he spent more time with her than his dying mother.
Okay, so I have always lived a life of no regrets. You can have none. So this gentleman is having regrets about something that he cannot control, and it's hurting him to look back when I think that he should be looking forward. And that's very easy advice to give, but not always easy to take.
Yeah, I also think like you need to give yourself time to grieve. You had 2 major losses. One is your mom, which is crazy, and that's a huge, huge loss. And then 2 is your first relationship breakup, which it's the same feelings of loss and death as you could get when someone dies, because basically that person is dead out of your life.
Dude, there's always more people could have done, right? There's
Yeah.
always more hangage you could have had with somebody, or, extra hang zone time or whatever. But in the end, what really matters is the memories you had with that person.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would just give yourself time to grieve, and also fuck this girl. Like
Yeah, for
this
sure.
girl is just honestly, I know this like might suck to hear, but with that big of an age gap, I feel like she was just playing around. And
Yeah.
it sucks because it was your first relationship, which you tend to put on a pedestal and cherish,
How old
because
was she?
she's 26, he's 17.
Yeah, that's pretty. What the fuck?
Yeah. Are you
I
not
forgot.
listening?
I forgot.
I've been
I was
commenting on this
really,
age
I was
gap.
really focused on the pro wrestling. Now I've moved on.
Okay. 26-year-old model wrestler girl, 17-year-old boy.
First of all, good for this kid.
Right. But
Sec-
also you were kind of like a plaything.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And also, man, look, I mean, a lot of people are like, hey, I was in like a 3-year relationship with somebody and they cheated on me. Did I waste my time? And it's like, no, you didn't waste your time. I mean, they wasted your time.
Well, and you learned something you learned through the School of Hard Knocks,
Yes.
which sucks.
So this chick didn't waste your time with your mom, right? Like you are not even an adult yet, bro.
No.
Like you can make mistakes and you don't have to
Right.
have regrets.
And I think the takeaway is that like you'll probably learn how to like prioritize based off of things that actually matter to you rather than what feels like they matter because you never been in a relationship before. It's easy to feel like that would have been first priority because it's like, oh, I care about this girl so much, and she's the love of my life and she's everything and all this stuff. But then like she's not really who you thought she was, and that's just something that you would have had to figure out anyway in life. It just so happened to be like during the time where your mom was.
What you should spend time on is working on your finishing move because those are the sickest part about pro wrestling.
Agreed. Yeah. All right. Next question. So, hey, Nikki. Hey, Steve. Long time, first time. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Long time, first time. Straight up, I'm a 22-year-old male, single, and I haven't had a girlfriend since 6th grade. I'll just cut to the chase. They say that girls like guys that are funny. I think I have funny moments, but I can't just constantly and continuously kill like you guys. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
He
so
loves
much.
the vibe.
Yes. So I know this is a hard question, but can you give me advice on how to be funnier? Love the pod. It's my favorite thing to listen to while driving. Thanks, Robert.
Robert, okay. People ask me this a lot. They're like,
How do you be funny?
Do you be funny? And it's like, I don't fucking know. No, what it really is it's like you got to listen to people.
Yeah, it's listening and observing.
If you can just listen to people and then like kind of just go with what they're saying, but try to find an angle at it, it gets fun.
Well, you find the weird.
Yes.
That's what they teach you at UCB or
Yes.
at improv classes, is not to try to force something to be funny.
Never.
But like finding the natural, like weird part of something. And we all say weird things and we don't even realize we're saying it. And your job is to just point out those weird things, and not in a making fun of way, but just being like.
They call it like recognizing the first unusual thing.
Yes.
So once somebody does something unusual, and usually it's not like very blatant, like somebody flubbing a word isn't that great.
Yeah.
It's more like just something that sticks out, and then you kind of yes and build on top of it. Dude, everyone's got a different style and
Yeah.
different vibe. You don't have to do what we do or
No, you
do
don't.
what Nikki does or any of that.
And there's different types of humor too. There's observational, there's more broad, there's physical comedy. I mean, it's just what fits naturally with your character, and like what do you find funny?
Like, dude, what if George Carlin was doing physical comedy?
Right. Well, that's
That would have been nuts.
I think you should start with what you find funny.
Yes.
Start with what you like. Notice first. Observe yourself. Notice what things you laugh at, what shows you watch, what tone of things that you like.
Yeah.
And then find out why it made you laugh.
Dude, imagine a movie where George Carlin got turned into a dolphin. Like, what kind of movie would that be?
What?
He's like, what? I'm a dolphin? Like, that guy would never, that wouldn't work. Like George Carlin in a physical comedy movie where like a dolphin is now a man named George Carlin or whatever, and he's like walking around in our world and he's trying to get back to being a dolphin again or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit wouldn't work because his vibe was very like observational and like he would criticize the world and society and all that shit. But like that's why, you know, you could see Rob Schneider or Jim Carrey get turned into a dolphin pretty easily. Like if I said, hey, Jim Carrey movie where Jim Carrey gets turned into a camel, you're like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for he's like on a different level now. He's
For
like
sure.
going spiritual and stuff.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, where'd you go?
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened?
Dude,
what happened to you?
That
Who hurt you?
documentary, the Moon Man one, where he was like going to Andy Kaufman's kid, and he's like, "Hey, your
I didn't
dad's
see
talking
it.
to you through me right now." I'm like, Jesus, dude, just fucking relax a little bit. Guy clearly has like a like one of those Messiah complexes or whatever. Mm-hmm. Pretty nuts.
Dang, that's a shame.
It was a shame. He was one of my heroes when I was a kid.
Yeah, same. He was like my first crush. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. Just like honestly, you're super young. Like, just start. It's not too late to like be funny. You're still developing your personality.
What do you think is funny, my man?
Yeah.
And then try to figure out like what you have to say about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I said that.
I think that I said it better.
I think you were thinking about George Carlin as a dolphin while I was saying it, and you didn't hear me.
I think that I was, trying to discover the unusual thing. Thank you.
Yes. All right. How to be genuine when you seem like you are emotionally detached. Hi, Nikki and Steve. Loving the podcast. You guys are great to listen to. Oh my God, thank you so much. I guess he's loving the vibe. And I've gotten a lot of insight so far. I have a question more suited for Steve, but it'd be cool to get both of your input.
I
if
would
you
like
have
to
the
just
time.
answer this myself.
Okay, well, whatever. I would like to preface this that I'm not trying to offend at all on purpose. If it's taken like that, then I do apologize.
Wait, can I guess?
Go ahead.
How did you get with a chick like Nikki? You ugly mung.
No, but
Okay.
that would be a good guess
That's what I
because
would've
I wonder all the
asked.
time.
I do too.
And I think that the general public is probably wondering. I mean, maybe
Dude,
one
I
day we'll
always
answer
think
that.
I'm going to wake up from a dream, and I never do.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Thank you.
I seem to have some pretty similar mannerisms compared to Steve.
Okay.
Maybe a bit more monotone than most people I talk to. Oh, sorry. Maybe a bit more monotone than most people I talk to. Joke all the time. Too much, depending on who you ask.
Okay,
Seem
great.
maybe emotionally distant or unavailable, or that I just don't care. This is far from the truth, as I tend to care a lot. That is like Steve. Obviously, that's not the case for you in person. How have you balanced the way that you seem compared to the way you maybe are as a person? How have you kept friendships and relationships? Are you different than your on-screen personality?
I'm the same, but I'm different to the people that I'm with. So it's like to you, right?
Right.
I often say that I don't like anyone but you.
Right.
And I treat you like that.
Yeah.
Like I treat you differently than I treat most people.
Yeah, I'm special.
You are special. And whereas with most people, I could take them or leave them. But not everyone. Like, but there are people in my life where like they're close. Like the JK guys, we're all close.
Yeah.
And buds, and then Michael, and then like all my buds.
Like you have your circle.
I got my
and
circle.
that circle's protected.
Exactly.
And then it's hard to get into the circle.
It's really hard.
And then if you're not in the circle, then take
I
it
don't
or leave
care.
it. Yeah.
I really don't. And you could be like, "Hey, Steve, I don't think you're good or funny or whatever," and I honestly don't care. I really don't. But when you're in my circle and you're like, "Hey, dude, I think that you suck at this or whatever this is," I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it hard, and I'm gonna like really try to analyze my shit and figure it out. Because I think that that's important. But I don't. I like people that don't know you trying to tell you things is always very weird.
Right. True.
So I don't really take that advice. I take advice from people that I know.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Why?
Because I feel like you don't. I don't know. No, not what you're doing.
Oh,
I'm
see.
saying when people that don't know you
But
try
see how
to.
I cared? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I'm saying the people who don't know you that try to give you advice or tell you how to act or whatever.
Yes, for sure.
That's annoying.
Well, that can be so inhibiting that you won't be able to do things creatively.
Yeah, I felt very inhibited by that. That's why I think those people are annoying. But I think it's just my own shit because this is just like a personal like journey that I've had to go through was that so I'm on this path, right, and I'm like doing a thing, like let's say stand up, for example, and I was actually really good at stand up, like not saying like, oh my god, I'm the funniest person ever, but I just never bombed a show. Like I
You're
always
very good.
always got a lot of laughs, and that was like from the beginning, and I liked what I was doing, and I was evolving creatively, and I would just constantly look for ways to get better, and like, how do I improve certain jokes? How do I get more concise? How do I like make it better? And how do I make it funnier? And it was doing great. And then I had one bad show, right? It was like years into it, like maybe 5 years into it. Like I had like a couple mediocre. Like there wasn't like I was killing it every fucking show, but like I had like one where I bombed, and that was because I got drunk before I went on stage, and I couldn't remember the punchlines to anything. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was the weirdest show. And
it becomes
these
a podcast.
people, this guy, this like stand-up guy came and tried to lecture me and give me all this advice on stand-up. And like he had never seen me perform before ever. This was like the first time ever. And so he was judging my entire existence on this one show. And I don't know why, but it really fucking bothered me to the point where like I didn't really want to perform anymore. Like I let that guy get to me. And that was like in my mid 20s or young 20. I don't know. I started when I was 19, and then
you're like, I don't need this shit kind of thing.
No, yeah, I mean that's how I acted outwardly and logically, but like inside it kind of like really bummed me out, because like I was like, everyone else that saw me at that show thinks I'm not funny, and everyone like and I just got like really fucking mad internally, and then like it did inhibit me creatively, because then the next time I went up, I was thinking about all those things. Man. And like, it was like I had a flow for years, and then this guy got in my fucking head. And it wasn't just that guy, it was that he was saying things that I know were true from that show. Like it wasn't like he was wrong, but it was just that wasn't who I was as a performer. And it was hard to do the next show, because I knew that I had already performed a joke poorly.
Well,
before.
To your great credit,
yeah,
you definitely got out of that slump, because I did stand up with you a couple years back, and you were great.
Oh, thank you.
And also, I think you did so well for so long, and a lot of people always say like, oh, stand up is all about bombing and learning and bombing and learning.
Yeah.
I think that you're just so prepared as a person.
Yes.
You're always very prepared, no matter what. You guys should know this. Like, Nikki prepares like a maniac, even for stuff that you really probably shouldn't prepare for. Nikki like extra prepares for.
I didn't prepare for this show because you guys prepared for me.
There you go. But no, even this though, you did. You take time and you line everything up and you try to make it all.
I picked the questions that I think will be good answers.
You always I admire that about you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, and what I loved about stand up is the same thing I loved about dancing. I danced for 12 years, and I did hula dancing and ballet and jazz and all of that stuff. What I loved about it was that there are fundamentals, right? And you practice and you practice and you practice, and you learn a choreographed sequence. So that sequence is like the preparing, right? And it's really fucking messy. It's like stiff, like you're getting the sequence down and stuff. And then once you have it, when you're performing, by the time performance day comes, you just let the music take you, and you're just in the moment, and you're truly like deeply just in the moment. You're not thinking about what the next move is. You're not thinking about what the step looks like. You're not thinking about how others are seeing you. You're really just vibing with the fucking moment and riding a wave. And it's the same exact feeling that I feel with stand-up, where I'm writing a joke, I'm like saying it out loud in my room. It's not funny. I fix things, and it's like, it's very stiff and it's very like choppy. But then as you get it in your body, by the time I'm performing, I don't think of what I'm going to say next. I just am in the moment and feeling the audience.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it either.
Feeling like I'm having a conversation with them. And that's my favorite type of performance. Yeah. Is stand up and dancing.
Dude, when I did plays, I don't even know how the freaking hell I did that shit, where it's like you do 3 acts of Shakespeare or whatever the hell. Yeah. And it's like 2 hours long, and I remembered every line, and like you're just in it. You're just doing it.
Yeah. Isn't that the best feeling?
It's cool, yeah.
And that's, I think, because
I'm a mediocre high school play, but compared to but it's the same kind of jam.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, I think those are the only times where I'm like out of my head. Yeah, when I'm performing, and maybe sex, like those two things.
I think I think you're never in your head during sex, for sure.
No,
I can attest
to that. Like when you just are able to let go.
And you're very funny.
But yeah, being prepared helps me let go. And then it shouldn't seem like like I'm reciting a thing,
Agreed.
Because I'm not. But yeah, that's how I feel like I balanced my personality. Is I'm half the time I'm like type A, like super organized, and the other time, half the time I'm just like, I don't care. I'm like fucking free, you know.
Well, the question was for me.
Well, he said he would like to hear input from both of us.
Oh, okay.
So I hope that's okay with you.
I guess
hope
it's okay.
that's okay.
I guess it's okay.
Although I really don't know if they came here for me or if they came here for a guest.
True. We're going to find out soon.
This next one is from Joe Shepherd. He says, I'm sure you won't recognize the name. It's cool. But you know what? I actually have a crazy memory, and I recognize people's names. One time this guy stopped us at Disneyland and he said his name, and I told him his Twitter avatar because I remembered exactly who he was.
I remember that. He had a hat on.
Yeah. So Joe Shepherd, if you're listening right now, I'm sure you are because you submitted this question. I do recognize your name. You comment on like pretty much every video and every Instagram.
Oh no.
So no, I think I think you're great.
No. I'm saying that because you recognize Joe Shepherd's name, all Joe Shepherd has to do a year from now is be like, I used to watch this channel, but now I don't anymore. And then you're like, oh, that bums me out.
That's not true. Well, I mean, I guess it would be true because I'm like,
yeah, it would be,
like,
see?
but it wouldn't be like. I wouldn't
Behold
be devastated.
the power of recognition.
Yo, I wouldn't be devastated, but I like you, Joe Shepherd. Okay, so I'm about to turn 22. I have 2 friends that frustrate the hell out of me, and I have never been intimate with a female. Oh yeah, I'm also a misanthrope.
What does that mean?
Misanthrope, someone who hates the human race.
Oh.
That's so odd because from your comments, you don't seem like you hate the human race, but.
Well, I think he has a right to hate the human race.
I think you do too. There's really shitty people out there, but from your very nice commenter.
But the whole human race?
But like nice person, I feel.
I admire that. Instead of just hating one race, he hates all of it.
Well, then you know that probably is a lot of self-loathing too. Then I left my job last year because I was suicidal. Oh my God, there it is. Okay, so I left my job last year because I was suicidal and I have anxiety and depression. I sometimes think that it would be cool to have new friends and or a girlfriend, but I hate talking to strangers and I love being alone, so these thoughts disappear quickly. I want a job to get money, but the thought of being around people for hours each day is distressing and angers me, and I have no passion for anything, so I don't know what to look for anyway. I'm currently at a crossroads in life, and I don't know how to move forward, while I am terrified of slipping back to where I was and ending it all. I guess any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So sorry that this was long and deep. I love you both and everything you do. You make my days better. Signed, a misanthrope in a human's world.
Whoa.
Yeah.
First of all, we like you, bro.
Yeah, I love you.
So I'm sorry you don't like us because we're human.
No, he says.
No, I'm kidding.
He says he doesn't like humans.
I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding.
I know. But he says he doesn't like humans, and then he says, I love you both and everything you do.
Yeah, I know.
You have ability to love people.
Well, I think that he, like he's saying, he's more of a shut-in.
Right.
And so I think that, and I could be wrong, but I think that he finds like personal, what do you call it? He's like branded himself as a person who does this.
Who doesn't like people?
Yes.
Right.
Instead of being open to maybe liking people or finding people that he will like in reality, he's already decided for himself that he is a shut-in person who doesn't get along with people.
And not just that, but if you were suicidal and had anxiety and depression, sometimes when you hate yourself a lot or you have self-loathing tendencies, you look like you see the things that you hate about yourself and other people.
Yeah.
And that's all you see.
Yeah.
And so then you start to think that all of us fucking suck. Mm-hmm. I suck, and all these reasons why I suck, and everyone else has those same things and they suck too.
And it's a great defense mechanism too, because you don't have to open yourself up to people if you've already decided that they suck.
And it's just what happens too is that if you get too far down that hole, it's you stop seeing the good in people, and then you stop seeing the good in yourself too. So that's why you become suicidal, because you don't feel like you have anything good to contribute to the world. I mean, that's how I felt before, and that's after a long spiral of seeing the things you hate about yourself and then projecting them onto other people, and then that, going back and forth until it's,
for sure,
blah. But the thing is you have two friends and you've never been intimate with a female. So you have friends, and there is a reason that you have friends. There are things that you like about them that you see that maybe you like about yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that the more that you focus on things that you like about yourself, the more you can see it in the world.
Yeah, and dude, you seem like a cool guy. Like I'll be honest, some people write in sometimes and I'm like, this person's weird. But you seem cool, man. You just seem chill. I think that you're pretty hard on yourself, and so because of that, you're hard on people around you too. And I can relate to what you're getting at too, because I do the same thing quite a bit. But yeah, man, you just gotta find something about you that you like, and then try to build on that.
Yeah, and 22's really young. Like, I'd say up until 26, you're still developing your personality. You're still figuring out what you like and dislike, and what really moves you. I think that's a better way to word it. What moves you? Because sometimes you think like you like things like, oh, I want to make a bunch of money and I want to be famous and I want to be rich. Like a lot of people think those things are what they want and that's what success is. But then as you get like older, and if you're really introspective, and if you're an introvert, and you're a shut-in like this, you're probably doing a lot of introspection, probably too much overthinking. But I think that you start to figure out what actually matters to you. And I think that's the most important thing, is because once you establish that and you're like, as long as I'm fighting for these things that actually matter, you have purpose and you have like reason to live, and you know what you are putting out that's good.
And dude, what makes you feel good, man? Like I know, like Nikki knows this about me. It's like if I've been inside a lot, go stir crazy, I need to hang out with people.
Yeah.
And just like talk to people. And
if I've talked too long, I need to just be in and not talk to anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what recharges your batteries, man, and like try to, whatever that is. It's like I don't try to make it sound easy. I know it's not. But it's like whatever that is about yourself that you find joy in, or that you like, or whatever. Or maybe you're like, hey, man, I got nothing right now. But try to think back onto something that you did like, or that you used to do that was fun. And then try to, find that again.
Yeah. Like sometimes even just like say you liked painting, and then you start painting, and you don't judge your painting, by the way. Just start painting just to like open your creative mind. I think that like a lot of life is born out of creativity. A lot of the good parts of life and all the good feelings and the good energies, they're born out of creativity and not judging the creativity that you have.
Dude, the worst feeling in the world is when I'm not actively building something, like working on something that I'm working on, like whether it's a script or like a screenplay or with the guys that I work with, like whatever that is. If I know that I'm building something towards something, then I feel really good.
Yeah.
Like and I know that about myself. So what can you build for yourself that will get you to where you want to go?
Well, and the other part of his question is, I want a job to get money, but the thought of being around people for hours each day is distressing and angers him, and I have no passion for anything, so I don't know what to look for anyway. The job to get money thing, there's the beauty about the internet right now and the time that we live in is that there's so many jobs that you can do without having to talk to people.
Dude, fucking YouTubers don't even know human beings.
Yeah.
What do you don't have to ever even talk to a human being. You just talk to your camera.
Or a graphic designer. Like you don't even have to talk at all.
Yeah, you go on Fiverr or whatever. You just check
camera.
emails and shit.
Yeah, you could do Fiverr. You could learn code.
Yeah, dude, code is sick, bro.
Yeah.
Learn blockchain shit, man. Go out there, learn Solidity and shit. You'll kill.
Yeah, and then what happens is you'll find other people who are into those same things, and well, just learning a new skill like code or graphic designing or something that you don't have to talk to people. You already know you don't want to talk to people, so like doing things like that will build your confidence. You know.
By the way, man, I'm a person who believes in strengths and weaknesses. So you identifying yourself and going, hey, look, I don't like talking to people. I'm like, that's a productive step. It's like, cool. So here are different things that you can maybe do around that.
A lot of tech jobs, a lot of STEM jobs, a lot of those kind of jobs.
Yeah. And then maybe you can find your pod of like 5 people that you give value to, like I have.
Yeah. And that's through like having similar interests and having things that you know that you like and dislike and really knowing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't think this phase is forever. And also, I think as long as you're focused on moving forward, you don't have to worry about slipping back to where you were before. Just focusing on like the things you like, the things that you're giving. Oh, that was a good thing. The good tip that I did when I didn't want to slip back was every time I felt like, what's the point? You know, I would focus on where I could give. Like either give someone a compliment, I would text somebody just something nice, or online even like send them a tweet or whatever. Remember people's birthdays, and I just focus on giving.
Dude, and not to take it down a notch, but legit, I've read dope things about the suicide prevention hotline.
Yeah.
So if it ever gets to that, man, like where you're feeling that way, I mean, calling that number is legit. Like those guys are really on it. Let's get that number.
All right, yeah, and that number is 1-800-273-8255. They are available 24 hours every single day. So
Not Spawn.
Not Spawn.
We're just giving that away, okay?
You know, here's what I can give.
And yeah, man, keep your head up out there, dude. It's Nikki went through
but you're great.
You're going through.
Like,
we like you.
And I recognize you. So how about that? How about them apples?
That's true.
So you have
friend of the show. We call him friend of the show.
You have given like a little boost of like positive energy to me every so often when I see your comments.
And what's his first name?
Joe Shepard.
Hey, Joe Shepard. Why don't you smile more out there? I'm kidding. Don't you love when people do that shit?
I hate it.
How come you don't smile more?
I hate when you're depressed and people are like, why don't you make a gratitude list?
Oh my God.
Like, why don't you
the best.
suck my dick?
The best.
Suck my fucking dick.
Yep.
We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about more really super light subjects like this.
Yeah. Coming up, we're talking about what's the point of life?
All right, getting fit and staying healthy always sounds easier said than done, right? Because like you think that you can have all this time to work out and you're really motivated, but you don't actually
It's
do
just
it.
so hard to actually do.
Because you get busy and you're like, well, I'm too busy. Can't do it.
Or when you're not busy, you're like, I'm going to become busy so I can't work out.
Yeah. You just like procrastinate and stuff and fill your schedule with work. Well, OpenFit is bringing you something new that makes it even easier to never miss a sweat session. So you can lose the commute to the gym and you can let the workouts come to you.
But what is OpenFit? OpenFit takes all the complexity out of losing weight and getting fit. It's a brand new, super simple streaming service that allows you to work out from the comfort of your living room in as little as 10 minutes a day.
Why try OpenFit, Steve?
Well, because everybody's bodies are different, Nikki, and OpenFit gets that, which is why it's personalized to your needs with custom tailored original content, Nikki.
So, okay, well, thank you. There's amazing trainers and classes. They're led by some of the most effective and engaging trainers in the world. How about that? It's super simple. You don't have to have all the complexity and stress about getting fit. You can just press play and then work out on your schedule.
You can view it on your computer, your web-enabled TV,
it pretty
your
much
tablet.
eliminates your excuses.
You pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so you're trying to procrastinate, it's your fault.
You even get it on Roku, so your mom can use it. Because I don't know anyone else who uses Roku.
Yeah. You could lose up to 15 pounds in just the first 30 days, flatten your abs, shape your body, and look and feel great. I personally like the bar workout. They have this one extend bar workout, and it's basically like a mix of cardio, Pilates, and ballet fundamentals. So it lets you be like, you're working out, but it's more of like a lean strength type of thing than like a CrossFit muscle-y
And you don't
lifting
actually
thing.
need a bar, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, you can use a chair. You can use anything that's around you to like rest your hand on. But yeah, you don't need a ballet bar. But if you're into like the more weightlifting stuff, they have that too. You can do one of the other classes. But yeah, OpenFit has changed the way I work out. And with my code TELLYOU, TELLYOU, you can join me on a fitness journey personalized just for you. Again, our code TELLYOU, TELLYOU. You can start using the OpenFit for your journey to a healthier life.
Right now, during the OpenFit 30-Day Challenge, our listeners get a special extended 30-day free trial membership to OpenFit where you can lose up to 15 pounds in 30 days when you text TELLYOU to 303030. That's 303030.
You'll get full access to OpenFit, all the workouts and nutrition information totally free. Again, just text TELLYOU, TELLYOU to 303030. And we are back with a few more questions. We're almost at the end. Are you sad?
We're not at the end.
We're not at the end. I said almost at the end.
I don't look at life as almost at the end. I look at it as constantly today.
You're a glass half full person, aren't you?
I am actually.
Cool.
No, and
You're
a lot of people,
freaking Monster
a
Energy
lot of people
drink.
think that I'm so very cynical and all this stuff, but I'm actually a pretty positive dude.
He is.
I'll have you know.
He's a very positive dude.
Yep.
Many times I'm like, what's the point? And he's like,
And I'm like, smile more, bitch.
All right, this is from Jonathan. Hey, Nikki, I've listened to all the Should They Don't Tell You podcasts, and they're great. Thank you.
Thanks.
I was just watching the latest Sticky Show, which if you're listening out there and you don't know, we have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Nikki Limo, and we have a show every Thursday called The Sticky Show, and it's similar to the podcast, except we do things.
What'd you think of the one we did with Timmy where we just talked about dishes at the end, though? Were you cool with that?
That was
I'm asking him.
not a Sticky Show.
No. I'm talking about the podcast. He said I love all the podcasts.
Okay,
I'm
well,
like, did he love that?
I was just plugging Sticky Show. Why'd you? I thought you were
I
going to
love the plug.
contribute
I
about
love the plug.
friggin' Sticky Show.
I love the plug.
Anyway.
Definitely Spawn.
I caught the plug at the end to rate should they don't tell you. I would definitely give you guys 5 stars, but on Android, I have not found a way to do so. I've used a few different apps, Beyond Pod, Castbox, and now Google Podcasts. I've not figured out how to give the show 5 stars on any of these apps. I think I might have been able to give you a thumbs up on Castbox. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
I tried a few different ways to rate your podcast on iTunes using my Android and my computer, but without an actual Apple device, I can't seem to make it work. What's the best way to give you my stars as an Android listener?
You're the man, dude. First of all,
I'm so thankful for you.
I respect you, and I love Android, and I wish I had Android.
You're going on my gratitude list.
But I don't have Android, so I can't help you, bro. I wish I had Android. I actually like it. They have a lot of cool crypto-related stuff that I don't have.
Is Google Pixel Android?
I don't have.
Is Android?
I don't have any idea.
Is Android
Mark
anything?
is shaking his head. Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, so is Android just anything
Mark,
that's
the fact checker on the show.
Is Android just anything that's not Apple?
No, but basically.
Well, you answered like you know. You're looking at Mark.
No, Mark's fact checking. He's in my ear right now. Mark's in my ear.
He's saying yes. So why'd you say no, you stupid loser? iOS and Android are operating systems, and Android is not an iOS, and so it's anything that isn't an iOS.
Yes.
So the answer is yes, Steve.
Mark gave me wrong information in my ear.
That's not
He
true.
relayed
You didn't
wrong
even wait. You
information.
just
False
said no
info.
right away. Anyway, well, yeah, Jonathan, we don't know, but thank you so much for going through the whole
Jesus.
process of
I'm
trying.
so sorry, brother. I have no idea.
I know. I wish I could rate you 5 stars.
Yeah, we rate you 5
for
stars for
trying
sure,
so
but we have
hard.
no way of doing it either.
But
We're
also,
Apple people.
if you're on Apple, you should rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and do that right now if you can.
He's like
Thank
going
you.
crazy right now. He's like, "Oh, are you kidding me, bro?" Oh,
I know.
what a good,
I don't know.
What a
Yeah.
fucking good dude, man.
I mean, maybe steal your sister's iPod, you know?
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
sick.
steal someone's iPhone
Yeah,
real
does your
quick.
mom have an iPhone? I'm sure she does.
Someone you know has one.
Take her phone and just do it.
It still counts if you rate it from their
Dude, I
phone.
bet your grandma got an iPad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
You just buy an iPad,
Yep.
get an iMac, and
Dude,
then...
old people love iPhones. They're ruining the whole image, man. Well, the image is like everyone skateboards and like, people at clubs like dancing around with, you know, and like, or like I'm in a New York City side street and I'm just like dancing for some reason. No, nobody thinks I'm crazy. Like that's the brand. Right?
I haven't seen one of
It's all
those
young
commercials.
people- young,
I haven't
hot
seen
people.
those in like a long ass time.
Really?
I think you're the old person ruining iPhones.
They still have those commercials. What are you talking about?
I don't watch commercials, I guess.
Oh, you don't watch the tubes?
They're not on my YouTubes.
Yeah, I can't really.
I always
identify
get
where I've
like
seen them.
weird commercials on mine. It's like Grammarly to check your grammar. I'm like, I don't fucking need you. I already have my grammar.
Weird.
Yeah, my grammar's great.
I get a lot of boating stuff.
That's weird.
I think it's because they can
Your
see the way that I
demographic?
dress.
They don't think they can see, honey.
I think they can.
Okay. Well, then they shouldn't give you boating ones. They should give you freaking
Not
like,
today, yeah.
discount Blockbuster knockoff.
Discount Blockbuster.
Blockbuster membership cards.
Okay, 90s friend. Today you're my 90s fucking friend on a sitcom,
I fucking
dude.
love the 90s.
But you're not you're the lead character's friend. You know what I mean?
That's what I want it to be.
Yeah, I know.
So thank you.
That's what you are today. You're dressed like it.
Good.
Wearing plaid.
I would love that.
With your hair back. Still cute, but like not hotter than the lead.
It's weird because he's saying it like disses, but they feel good. They're like compliments.
Beautiful as hell. Yeah.
Yikes.
Good luck with that.
I'm sorry.
Try turning that into money, Nikki.
Okay. I've been trying. We're trying really hard. All right. Our next question, it says dating advice, sad face.
Oh.
It is. Oh, this is kind of long. I'm gonna try to skim through it as best as I can.
Please.
It's from Sophia. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I love your podcast. Listen to it so much that I can probably recite the ad you guys have for Castbox at the beginning of each episode by heart. Anyway.
Oh no, we gotta do new ones. Jesus.
I don't
I'm
mean
sorry.
to sound like another whiny kid who feels like they need relationship / sex / romantic advice, but here goes. Hey, you are not annoying. This is what we asked you for
So far,
to
she's
send
not
us
annoying.
this.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm a 19-year-old Asian girl, and I have no clue on how to get myself out there. The handful of times I've kissed people were out of dares, and the one time I had sex was when I was drunk after a party. I don't really even remember what happened. Yikes. When I was a kid, I was really insecure with how I looked. I was tomboyish, I was a boyish, loud AP student who spent half my time studying and the other half being obnoxious in theater. I feel like I relate to you. And I figured no one would ever develop a crush on me, and I was cool with that. I never thought that anyone would like me the way I'd like them, so I'd never let myself develop crushes on other people to prevent myself from getting hurt. If I did, I'd shut that shit down fast by turning off my feelings and putting myself in the friend zone so they wouldn't do that for me. She like has her defensive
She's the bubble
up.
chick, man.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
Well,
no, you're never getting in here.
Yeah, you're too scared to get hurt, so you're putting up walls first.
Yeah.
I was in high school anyway. My main priority was to get good grades. I couldn't give a fuck about the relationship shit. Fast forward to now, I'm a second year of college and I don't have many insecurities anymore. I don't think I'm ugly. I'm really sociable. Anyone who knows me would say I'm pretty outgoing and funny, and I don't give a shit about what people think about me.
Oh, I like this chick.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with who I am in every aspect of myself
She sounds hot.
except with sex and dating.
Oh.
I don't know even where to start. There's Tinder and Bumble, but even you guys mentioned on your other Q&A podcast that matches made on Tinder seem meaningless. But even if they weren't, the idea of going on a date with a stranger is terrifying to me. Meeting strangers and flirting with them, making yourself vulnerable, like thinking about all of that gives me anxiety. Does that mean I shouldn't put myself out there at all? I don't know the first thing about dating.
Put yourself out there, girl.
Steve kept advising each person who needed dating tips to join an improv class.
That's all I got.
But my issue isn't really with breaking out of my shell, making friends, or being comfortable in front of a group of people. I guess it's just being vulnerable with another human being, giving the person the opportunity to hurt me, or letting another person's opinion of who I am really matter to me. Like you have the
Yes.
circle. This is a circle
I like
thing.
this chick.
I haven't given a shit about what other people have thought about me in a while, so I guess that's really the problem. The idea of being vulnerable with another person is really anxiety inducing. Another thing, not to get TMI, but I wanted to ask this question to people who are older than me instead of my friends, since I don't think they have a lot of sex experience either. LOL. I have this painful skin condition called HS, hidradenitis suppurativa. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That causes lesions to grow and scar where my thigh meets my groin. And while I don't have very many lesions growing that often anymore, there's a lot of scar tissue that I'm really insecure about. Do you think people really care? This is another reason why I'm afraid of sleeping around. I'm afraid what people might say about my skin. I don't want to feel like an undesirable freak. It's the most vulnerable part of my body, and I'm afraid if someone were to say something about it, I'd be too scared to ever have sex again. I've only had sex once when I was drunk after a party and the person was really nice, but I'm afraid I won't be so lucky next time. Thank you guys. Love your podcast. Hope you can help me. I'm looking forward to hearing your responses. Sophia.
What's her medical condition?
You're great. It's called hidradenitis suppurativa.
I think that what can help her with that is going to an improv class.
Yep. Yeah. I definitely. Have you enrolled in a Herald or
She should do short form.
or maybe Comedy Sports?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
No, man. You sound awesome, frankly. I think that you're giving yourself a lot of credit in one area and then no credit in another area.
Well,
It's
that's
very
usually
interesting.
how self-esteem works.
Yeah,
is that
for
you
sure.
strengths and weaknesses. So I think you're really great about recognizing strengths and weaknesses, which
Yeah.
is something a step forward than most people have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's like laundry listing all the things that we should like about her and then all the things that we should be aware of.
Yeah.
Which is very, I like straightforward people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, I think that you obviously have an intimacy thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing is that she's been shutting herself off from that the whole time. So it's not even like she really even knows if she can do this. So I think the anxiety comes more from the not knowing if she can do it than the fear of being vulnerable with someone.
Right.
You know? I think that I don't think you should do Tinder or any of that. You're 19, you're in college, you're around a bunch of people. You know, Tinder's for like people who aren't in a classroom setting or they don't have a set place to meet other people. The lucky thing about being in college is that you're around people all the time.
Yeah.
So you really don't need
But she's
an
around
app
a
like
lot
that.
of people right now and she's probably going like, well, I still not getting.
But she still has her walls up. So
Right.
I think like finding a club, it doesn't have to be an improv class. Improv class we were suggesting for people that work full-time jobs and they don't know how to meet people outside their job. For you, like joining a club, some sort of interest, so like maybe you're already part of a club, but it's not to be comfortable with yourself because that's not your weakness. It's more to like find other people that you connect with
And be comfortable around them.
Yeah, and instead of putting yourself in the friend zone, which is what you normally do to protect yourself, allowing yourself to get closer to them, to hang out more one-on-one, you know, to
Build relationships.
and I think what might help you is just by getting to know them first, like asking them questions about themselves instead of feeling like you need to right away open up yourself and like divulge all your deepest, darkest secrets with somebody.
Yes.
Like ask questions about them, observe them, you know, kind of like helping other people makes you more comfortable with opening up yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always found it, the more that I worked with people, and this is even just talking about improv here. I just mean the more that I had a group of people that we all knew each other and like hung and like did different shit with.
Yeah.
Like we go to backyard barbecues and all this stupid shit that we did. Like the more I would have like options available, like when it came to dating and stuff like that.
Right. And people would like naturally start opening up the more you hang out with them.
Yeah.
And then you would open up back.
Right.
Because if someone's like, yo, I have this problem, and like, do you have this problem? And then you're like, I don't know if I have that problem. Maybe I have that problem. And then you start talking about it. And then you're like, now you're talking about an intimate subject, which you normally wouldn't have if you had just met a stranger on a random date. Yeah. You know, I think building friendship circles and like just hanging out with groups of people is definitely the better way to, I'm not going to say better, but like it's a way to learn how to open up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because a lot of times you don't know, other people are scared to open up too, you know, and you don't know like what's weird and what's not weird to open up about.
It's like how they say sharks are just as scared of you. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. But you know, because it feels like that. But yeah, it is true. Like you're when you're there with the people can be just as nervous to meet you. Right. But it's all about, you know, when you're, so dude, sometimes people come up to you too and you don't recognize that they were kind of interested in you. Yeah. And because you are walled off.
And you think like, why would anyone ever have a crush on me? Which is what she said. Yeah.
So it's like maybe being open to that, and like it takes discipline. You got to be like, wait, is this conversation I'm having right now with somebody who's interested in me? And just be like, yo, you want to go get a cup of coffee or somewhere or whatever? Yeah. Instead of, dude, I had so many conversations with chicks where like we're just standing somewhere for a long time. And looking back, I wish I had been like, hey, you want to just go somewhere and get a drink or go sit down and get a coffee or whatever? And
I've been that chick that has stood and talked to a guy for a long period of time and been like, is he going to fucking ask me out or
it's brutal.
Like get my number or something?
Yeah. And you're just, you know, you're kind of, you're not sure and you don't want to put yourself out there in the moment. I remember these feelings. And then you're like, oh, if I ask her and she says no, I'll just be so devastated that I don't even want to look at her again. You know what I mean? I won't be able to face her.
I've even paid for guys' drinks just to let them know, like,
God, you're cool.
Yo, like, I'm down. But I've still, like, had it where they just didn't get the hint.
Amazing.
Or maybe I didn't get the hint and they were,
sure,
you know,
sure.
But they seemed pretty interested.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
I was like, well, you lost out.
Yikes.
But yeah, no, I think that at 19, you're young. Everyone's still learning all of that shit. Like, no one at 19 is like, I got all this shit figured out, you know? And even if they do have that part figured out, they maybe don't have the other stuff that you have figured out. So everyone's, you know, they're still like figuring each other out. And I think that's the best time to like start meeting people. And like, it's like your practice grounds of socialization. And so I guess I'm trying to figure out like what would help you most with like your one problem of opening. I think it's just through talking to people, right? You don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about.
And then the condition. No, I don't think anyone will care after you've already been intimate enough with somebody and you like them, they like you. You guys are hitting it off, and then after a while you want to have sex. I don't think anyone gives two shits about what's down there. As long as like if someone does say something, maybe they're just like, is that an STD? Maybe that like have more of a fear of that. I don't know. Like I would never think anything.
No.
Like if I saw a scar tissue on a dude that I was about to have sex with, no, I don't think I would be like, wait, whoa. No. That's weird. No.
Especially because people have stretch marks, people have all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah. And if they did say something and it like stopped sex, I'd be, that person's weird.
Disappointed.
Just so you know, that person's weird.
Well, also, why are the lights so fucking bright in here? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what happened to that? I have turned fucking lights off with shoes before. You know what I'm saying? Like right. you just fucking, you don't want the lights to be blaring in there, man. It ain't a set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd say don't worry about that at all.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Also, did you know vaginas look weird? Like I didn't know everyone's vagina looks different. But I didn't know people had different looking vaginas. And like when I saw pictures, I was like, oh, like everyone's got weird shit going on down
yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, what if you didn't? That would be terrible.
It'd be devastating.
Yeah. But like everyone's got weird shit going on there. And when you figure out that everyone has weird shit going on down there and everyone's got weird shit going on in their brains and everyone's got the same sort of like weird insecurities about different aspects of themselves, and it like makes it easier to just like let go.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Sophia. Hope that helps a little bit. This one's from Josh. Hi, Josh here, emoji. Looking for friends, LOL. 28. Black male from Delaware. Best thing, sense of humor. Thirst for the unknown, emoji. Worst thing, I live across the country, LOL. Hashtag guy code is law.
Wow,
So,
I like this cat. All right.
If anyone's interested.
No, he's just like putting himself out there.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie, bro? Like, tell us more about you.
Tell us more about
I can't
you.
date this. I can't date this person.
Well, if you're interested, let us know.
Let us know. Podcast at Nikki Limo.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in Delaware,
submit your request.
or in the outlying cities. Delaware is a pretty quick trip from most states over there.
We could hook you up if you want a friend. He's looking for friends.
What's Delaware, like 7 miles across or some shit?
I don't know. I forget about that state.
Right?
I'm sorry.
You could fall asleep driving through Delaware.
Yeah, I get them mixed up with Denver and
No,
Denmark.
That's all the way.
Denmark's a tiny place, and
Denmark is in the United States.
And Delaware, it's not. I know where they are, but they're all just they all start with D's.
Yeah.
And they're tiny places.
And this is why we call the show The Shit They Don't Tell You, because we know nothing.
I know nothing.
Jesus.
Yo, what up, America? All right, Josh. Hope you find some friends. Hey, Nikki. I have a question that maybe you guys can answer on Should They Don't Tell You. I'm 23 in college and reached an excellent credit score. It's 761 plus.
Holy
so
shit.
My question is...
We should be asking you questions.
Yeah, congratulations. My question is, what now? Like, what should I do next? Is there anything to do next?
What?
I'd like to get a condo eventually, but I'm figuring out the process. I appreciate your advice. Thank you. Okay, first of all,
There's the keys to the kingdom.
There's no indication of age here.
True.
Oh, yeah, there is. Wait, sorry. 23 in college.
Okay.
Duh. Okay, so you have excellent credit score. That's wonderful. I would now... don't jump into something just because you have a credit score and you're like, what do I do now? I got to do something about it. Like, it's just a good thing to have. And it's good to have it for when you need it. But I don't think you necessarily, unless it makes sense for you to buy a condo, like you're like, oh, I'm looking at this one property. It seems like a good investment.
Yeah.
Maybe it's cheaper than what I would be paying for rent or whatever other practical circumstances surround you buying a condo.
Where's she at? Does she say?
I don't know if it's a he or she, but no, they don't say where. But
I wonder if she. I get a lot. I don't know if it's a he or she, but I wonder if they. Because I get a lot of ads for boats, and I think that they're a really solid investment. And if I had a good credit score like that, you could really get one for a low price.
It's a really good thing your wife's in charge of finances.
You could get one for a very low entry price. You pay a very low amount down.
Aren't you so lucky that your
and then you're financed.
wife is in charge of the finances? That's really great.
That's
for
what
you.
I say. I say you should get a boat.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yeah, no. So finance and then investing are two completely different things. And you can be really good at building a credit score, but it does not mean that you should immediately jump into like something that involves using your credit score. I'm just saying you can
get a Ford Raptor.
But you look into like learn about investments, figure out what like you would really want to put your money into, and then you can use your awesome credit score to do that. So if a condo is what it is, then that's what it is. I hate HOA fees, and like we got a condo because it was the thing that was in our budget to get, and we wanted to own our property, and we were sick of not owning something in our 30s. So we got that, but I don't know if I was 23, and I don't know if you're single or married or whatever. I don't know if the properties in your area are worth an investment. I don't know, but I would do research on that before.
Let me give you a piece of advice. My brother owns property in the state of Oklahoma, okay, where the wind and all the shit.
Yeah.
Now, my brother's mother-in-law advised him to paint the kitchen a very hot color right now, according to her magazines, which was teal. Mm-hmm. And this kid cannot sell his fucking house now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's hard to resell houses. That's what I'm saying. Like, you make sure you have a property that you can actually turn over and sell again. There's
And the
a
mom
lot
is
of
like, holy shit, are you kidding me? It's not like people aren't just crawling all over this thing. It's like, that's a hot color now.
yeah.
It's just amazing. And everyone's like, the kitchen, what'd you do? What the hell is this? It's Alice in Wonderland in here. This is amazing.
Has nothing to do with the credit score, but that is a great anecdote.
No, so what
Yes.
so what I'm saying is, when you're buying property wherever you are, make sure that it's something that people want to buy. Dude.
Yes.
And not,
Yeah, and I'm saying you don't have to buy property at all. Like, there's a lot of pluses, there's a lot of pros to renting.
But do you know what she's saying? This are he or she? They're saying, I have a 760 credit score.
I know what they're saying.
It's time to make moves. That's what they're saying.
I know, then that's what I'm saying
No,
too.
but you're saying hit the brakes and just chill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this person's like, I did all this work. I want to fucking go to Vegas and do some shit.
So here's some shit that you can do that doesn't. I'm saying no. Go ahead and fuck around. Like, do whatever you want, but research it first. I'm saying if you want to invest in something, make sure it makes sense to invest. Not that just like, oh, I need to make some shit happen, so I'm gonna do some random thing just because my credit score is high.
True.
Like, make sure that you like actually want to do that thing, and you know all the pros and cons, because locking yourself into a 30-year mortgage is not like just something that you want to fucking deal with when, like, let's say you're 23 years old. Let's say you want to travel around the world in 2 years. Like when you're 25, you're like, you know what? I'm sick of fucking my hometown. Like, I want to go travel around the world. Well, now you got a mortgage.
Yep.
So like, just chill. Like,
what you should look into is, so you can go to Las Vegas for free. The hotel will have you go to a breakfast that they pay for, or lunch. And then you could learn about some very interesting property sharing opportunities that I think you should be very excited about.
Yeah, Steve's still trying to get out of that. So,
well,
you know?
I'm looking forward to going someday.
Yeah, but
I'm looking forward
he's trying to get out of the thing that he bought there.
But it's not a timeshare, Nikki.
No, of course not.
It's a shared property.
Okay, let me give you some things that you can do with your fabulous credit score. You can negotiate for better terms on your credit cards. Now, if you have anything above 670, and better if you have more than. Oh wait, sorry. If you applied for credit cards when your score was 670 or even 700, you said your score. What did they say their score was? Their score was 761. Okay, so let's say you applied for your credit cards when your score was lower. Well, now you can go back and you can call your credit cards and negotiate a much better rate, because you can just say, hey, did you see how freaking awesome I am? Yeah. Like, I worked super hard on my credit, and I would like to
get some credit. Thank you.
Like to change. You can change your APR. You can ask for a lower APR. You can.
What the hell is APR?
Average percentage rate.
Oh, okay.
Something.
How about
is it
that?
average percent? Annual percentage.
Annual percentage rate.
Annual percentage rate. And it's usually like some crazy number when you.
I just know when it's zero, I'm like, oh, that's a hot deal.
That's never gonna be zero.
Well, sometimes it's zero if your credit is high enough. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. I don't think zero. They can negotiate.
No, you can get zero. I've seen it. I've seen it on the introductory. See, Mark just backed me up. He says you get introductory APR.
That's much different.
Of 0%.
Yeah.
And how bitchin' is that?
Yeah. So the introductory means you don't have that credit card yet.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, it's pretty bitchin' though.
But when you get it,
yeah,
then they kick it up to 3% or something.
Yeah.
But you got it at first for 0%, and that's so sick.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you could do that.
I like it.
Yeah. So, but I'm talking about the credit cards that you already have that made your credit score high. You can negotiate better terms for that. You could apply for a better credit card, like Steve was just saying. Mm-hmm. You could get one like maybe that gives you some freaking miles on it, maybe some perks, some cool benefits, and you can do that with like a better APR and an introductory APR.
That's right. When you 0%. Eat at restaurants, when they bring you the bill, you can look at them and be like, "I'm sorry, I have really good credit," and then they're gonna knock it down a couple bucks.
I don't think that's true at all.
That's what I read.
Well, that's where's your sources?
I was reading it online.
Oh, online.
On a benefits list.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you read it online.
Yeah.
That must be true then.
Yeah.
Okay. You could also refinance your mortgage and reduce your monthly payment. I know you don't have a mortgage yet because you said you were thinking about buying something. But if for those of you out there who have just reached an excellent credit score.
Properties in Riverside are really really hot right now.
By the way, we'd like to say 760 plus. You could reach for better. You could get to 800 and actually have an excellent credit score. Right now, it's good.
We're not that impressed with what we're trying to say.
It's not excellent.
Yeah.
So just keep going. Okay, keep checking.
Yeah. You're not done yet.
Yeah, you're not done.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll be there where you are soon. But
Lance Armstrong, you're in France. You're doing the what do they call it? The tour. Okay, and you're close, but you're not there yet. And you gotta pull out that needle, inject it, and finish the last leg. Thank you.
I checked out when you were talking.
What is it? I'm just saying she wasn't done yet.
You can pay off your credit card debt without paying interest. If you have a really good credit score, you can do balance transfers and not really get penalized that much.
That's dope.
Yeah. That's, again, has to do with the introductory APR. Yeah, so really fun stuff you can do. A lot of really fun stuff.
Oh my God.
I would focus on getting an IRA account and putting stuff into investments.
And I would focus on buying Bitcoin. Perhaps you've heard of it on this show.
I think a high credit score helps when you need it, when you need a loan, when you find that thing that you really want to invest in, it'll be bitchin' to have a high credit score.
So true.
But to just try to make a move, not really knowing, but just wanting to do something, I think you should just hold on a little bit.
I couldn't have said it better, especially the bitchin' part.
Yeah. So there you go. Congrats on your fabulous credit score. Oh, yeah. Also, don't ruin it like I did. I had a really good credit score when I was 23. When I was the same age as you, I had a 760 plus credit score. And then it got destroyed within 3 months of me getting sued and my boyfriend breaking up with me. I've told the story before a million times. I don't want to bore you. But I'm just saying that it took years to build that. And then it took a month to fucking decimate to pieces.
And one mistake that I made was putting my ex's, all of her expenses onto a credit card. That was a mistake.
Yeah, don't
was going through college.
Don't do that.
That was an error, and you should not do that. That's the shit that they don't tell you.
Yeah, and those are all the questions that we have.
I have a question for you.
What's your question, Steve?
How did you do it, Nikki?
How'd I do what?
You got a very attractive husband. You have done very well in life. Your husband's funny, and he's a good-looking dude. It's just
I think you said,
and he's smart. It's like, man, how'd you do it? And you're successful and you're a homeowner and all stuff. How'd you do it?
Well, I just woke up and I was like, I'm going to use the secret today.
Yeah.
and then I just manifested it. Yeah. So look up manifesting because
I love it. Nikki just manifested us some money last night, actually.
I did. So we were in the car and I was like, you know what we need? We need more personal cash flow because we had a lot of medical bills that we had to pay this month and then taxes are coming up and I was like, we have a lot of business income but personal bank accounts are running really fucking low. And then we went up to the mailbox and we had $1,000 at our mailbox
from Disney, the Disney Corporation.
A check.
How about that?
To Steve Greene himself, not our business.
No.
And so it just goes right into personal. And I get to use that to pay all of Steve's medical bills.
Thank you, Walt Disney Corporation.
Thank you, Walt Disney Corporation.
Thank you to the Marvel franchise.
Thank you, The Secret.
And thank you to the Star Wars franchise.
Thank you, The Secret.
And thank you to Manifestation.
Yeah. But no joke. I got my husband from using The Secret. I wrote it in my journal.
You sure did.
And then he appeared right before my eyes.
That answers my question. Thank you.
I mean, it was different. You have to be really specific when you manifest because, some things are off.
Yeah, you can get it's like a bad genie wish.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, he's got a weird head shape, but
for sure.
but he's still attractive.
But his haircut doesn't help.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, he could be. He's no Eminem, but.
Oh, I feel very confident about that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with not being Eminem.
But he's close,
If you squint and somebody punches you in the side of the head, maybe.
Yeah. So but I'm cool with what I manifested.
I like it.
I'm still working on the Eminem part.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, don't forget to rate us unless you're on an Android. Sorry.
Oh my God!
But if you're on an iPhone, please rate us 5 stars.
We got to figure out what's going on with that. We're gonna ask some people.
We're gonna ask Mr. Apple.
We're gonna ask people who don't really care to get back to us, and we'll see what happens. It's like rolling the dice.
Subscribe, rate us, ask us question podcast at Nikki.Limo. You can also follow us on Instagram. We have an Instagram now. It's shit they don't tell you, but without the I, so it's not a bad naughty word.
Oh yeah.
It's just SHT they don't tell you.
Also, we will be in Las Vegas, Nevada very soon.
But by the time this comes out, we're
very
not
soon.
We're not there anymore.
So come say hi.
Don't say hi.
We'll be doing a meetup.
See you next time. Bye.